Supply of labor, or I would say labor supply, is one of the important exceptions to the law of supply. What does law of supply says? Law of supply says as the price of a commodity increases, it increases its quantities of supply. But this does not hold true completely in case of labor supply. Let us try and understand what is labor supply is. Labor supply is the quantity of hours a worker is ready to work at a given wage rate. So at a specific wage rate, the number of hours for which a worker is working is called as labor supply. Hence, labor supply does not mean number of labors. Labor supply means at a specific wage rate, how many hours of work a labor is doing. I'll give an example. In this case, when I'm giving 100 rupees per hour to a labor, he's ready to work for 5 hours. When I'm giving him 200 rupees per hour as a wage rate, he's ready to work for 7 hours. When I give him 300 rupees per hour as a wage rate, he's ready to work for 6 hours. So those 5 hours for 100 rupees per hour, 7 hours for 200 rupees per hour, 6 hours for 300 rupees per hour, this is called as labor supply. So in nutshell summary, labor supply is the number of hours a labor is ready to work at a specific wage rate. Now in case of labor supply, if you happen to understand this chart, what do you know? That when the wage rate is 100 rupees per hour, he is ready to work for 5 hours, which means he gets 500 rupees. When the wage rate is 200 rupees per hour, he is ready to work for 7 hours. In turn, he is getting what? 1400 rupees. When the wage rate goes to 300 rupees an hour, he is now working only 6 hours but still earning more, 1800. Now if you notice carefully and try to put some graph of this data, you will see some surprising facts. Let us say on the graph, I would say on x-axis it will be number of hours worked by a labor, in short labor supply. On y-axis is wage rate. So when the wage rate is 100, he is ready to work for 5 hours. When wage rate is 200, he is ready to work for 7 hours. When wage rate is 300, now he is ready to work for 6 hours. And if we simply plot and connect this, what you see, its graph is going upward some point of time and then it bends back. Let us analyze this situation, what happens. For in case of labor supply, that is number of hours labor is working at a given wage rate, initially it shows a direct relationship. As the wage rate is increasing, number of hours is increasing. So you can see at 100 rupees per hour, he is working for 5 hours. At 200 rupees per hour, he is working for 7 hours. The graph is going upward. But once he reaches to a point, after that, the labor says I have earned enough. So I would prefer leisure to work, which means he is preferring to leisure instead of working extra hours. So what happens when he is earning 500 rupees at 100 rupees per hour for 5 hours and 1400 rupees working for 7 hours? Now when he is getting wage rate of 300 rupees per hour, he is only working for 6 hours. So the number of hours, instead of increasing, it shifts backwards. You notice what? Still he is earning more than earlier level. So in case of wage rate also, what do we understand? That at specific point of time, the wage rate is and the number of hours is or labor supply is increasing, both have positive relation. But after some point, there is a leisure comes into the picture and the labor tend to prefer leisure to work and the graph shifts backward. So even if you increase the wage rate after that, the labor is not going to work for more number of hours. So the labor supply will not follow law of supply after that point. So till a point, labor supply follows law of supply, but after that, the graph shifts backward and the labor prefers leisure to work.